Alright guys, welcome to Silicon Valley and welcome to Silicon Valley Girl. We haven't done this in a while. I don't think I've ever did this thing on this channel where we did a Q&A, but thank you so much for asking me questions on Instagram. We're gonna see your questions and I'm gonna answer them. Thank you so much if you're not yet subscribed to Lingua Marina on Instagram. Please go ahead and subscribe. And by the way, if you've been watching my shorts that have been going crazy on this channel, and if you have never watched my long video, if this is the first long video of me that you're watching, please comment. I'm just amazed by those millions of views that short videos are generating. And if they start paying for them, and they're gonna start paying for them in January, it looks like we're gonna buy a new house. I'm kidding, I don't know. Hopefully, but we'll see. All right, of course, construction goes wild whenever I start filming. Guys, I know you're probably building my future home, but I need to work for it. Okay, the biggest challenge of your childhood. Love this question. So I've recently made a post on Instagram where I talked about, and this is super weird, and you guys might say that I am going crazy. So I was born in Soviet Russia. Like, I actually was born after Soviet Union collapsed. We lived in a bedroom in an apartment with 3 other families. So we had shared bathroom, shared toilet. We didn't travel abroad. We were on a very limited budget. And you know, when Soviet Union collapsed, when you went to a grocery store, they would only have like milk, butter, meat. That's it. So for me, the dessert was an apple and I could only get it once a week. So this is my childhood, right? And so in this childhood, Marina has a very clear image of an apartment in a skyscraper that has huge windows and that is flooded with sunlight. Marina also looks at other people and like parents in Russia, and she sees kids going to daycare, and she sees crazy cold winters, and she sees how parents have to dress their kids up, and she goes to Russian hospitals and she doesn't like the system, and she knows that this is not her future. She knows she's not gonna be part of it. And this feeling is so strong, as if I knew. Like back then, when I looked at all of this and analyzed my feelings, I thought, does it mean I wouldn't have kids? What does that mean? Like, what does this feeling mean? And when I thought about, you know, this apartment in skyscrapers, we would go to the suburbs of our city and they would build like this huge apartment complexes. And I thought, is this what I'm dreaming of? Because my parents didn't have money for an airplane ticket to come to the US, let alone life in the US. But for me, like, it was a no-brainer that my adulthood is gonna look completely different. And it's like I had this super clear vision of my life today. How did it happen? No idea, but I knew it. There are so many things, like I'm reading all of these books that talk about like how we from our future can talk to ourselves in the past and how we can manifest everything. When our dream is so strong that it becomes a vision in our head, we just give ourselves a very clear direction of where we're going and we end up there. And a lot of people would tell you like, oh, dreams don't work, stop dreaming because this is all, I don't want to say bad words, but anyways, this is not how the world works, you need to get a corporate job, blah, blah, blah. When in reality, every day we're presented by hundreds of different options. And if we have a very clear vision of where we're going, like I want to end up, you know, living in Silicon Valley, every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I can learn English, I can watch a TV show, I can go out with my friends, or I can study physics. I ask myself, out of all of these activities, what brings me closer to my goal? And every day, these small decisions, they actually lead us to the life that we're manifesting. And if we're not manifesting everything, it's really hard for us to make a game-changing decision. So my ask for all of you is to create a dream board with all of the things that you want in your life, starting with an apartment or a house that you want, and ending with even smaller things, like if you want this mug with an American flag. I don't know what you want, but if you want, like, I don't know, a MacBook, just write it all down. This gives you a clear direction. It makes your choices easier. And it makes you so excited about life because you wake up every day and you know what you're working for. You know where you're headed with all of this, with your everyday. And just know that if you can dream it, you can make it. Like 100%, this is how it works. Do you want to have a son? Okay, guys. I would love to have 4 kids, since there was a question about it. Hello leaves, hello fall. I want 4 kids, and I really want, like, I had a very, again, another vision that I have, 3 girls. When I told this to my husband, he's like, but I want a boy. So I kind of worked with my vision, and I can see 3 girls and a 4th boy. But I totally need 3 girls. And like when the first child came, Emily, girl, my husband was like, okay. The second child, when I got pregnant, he's like, oh my God, whenever you dream of something, you get it. So I have no doubts it's a girl. And then we come to the ultrasound and it's a girl. And he's like, of course, I had no doubt. It's just, yeah. So hopefully 4 kids. You know what? I want everything to be easy with the kids. I don't want this life where you're like, oh my God, I have 4 kids. I don't sleep. I have to cook. And you know, all the schools, like, oh, it's so hard. No, I don't want that. I'm like, oh, we have 4 kids and we have this amazing team at home and we get all the help that we need. And we can change the world altogether. This is what I want. So I'm working on it. So in order to have 4 kids, we need to also like evolve as adults, as parents with my husband. What are your favorite books in self-help genre? What's your stance on spirituality? When we talk about spirituality, what I started with, it could be spiritual. For me, it's just, yes, I think we can talk to ourselves in the future and in the past. I need to think about it more, but I definitely believe in manifesting. And also one of the books that I'm reading right now is Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. If you do not believe that dreams come true, please read this book. It's really good. How can you be so focused on your goal always and not get distracted? I really want to achieve whatever I want to achieve. Like, I really want it. And when there are so many things that I want as well. I want to build a company, I want to have 4 kids, etc., etc. Whenever I think about what to choose, I start thinking about the problems. I had this thing when creator economy was on the rise almost 2 years ago. I was in the perfect position. I wanted to build a company in the creator economy because I thought, you know, it's a hype topic. I am a repeat founder. I raised money in Silicon Valley already for LinguaTrip. I have all of the connections and I'm a creator, so I understand creators. This sounds like a perfect plan. I'm excited. Let me build a company. And I hired developers to help me code, and I had this idea and I started working on it. But then I realized building a company, and I knew that, but it was like I followed this chase without thinking about the problems. And the first problem, like, how do you onboard clients? You have to go to conferences and talk to people. You have to, you know, convince them that your product is good. And I just didn't like that problem. I don't like selling in general. I like this. I like talking to people. I like inspiring them. I like, you know, being on social media and like building a company where demand comes naturally. And I was like, screw it. So I lost maybe like $20,000 on the IT development. And I realized it wasn't my dream. The thing is, it was an outside dream. It was a dream of other people who surrounded me, people on social media. Everyone was starting companies, doing something. I was like, I want to do something else. It wasn't my dream. So these days, whenever I'm in doubt and there are so many options, I ask myself, does Marina like the problems associated with this project or not? Is this Marina's wish, or is it somebody else who I keep seeing on social media? And an advice that a creator gives you, a very honest creator, stop following people for a week and see what happens. My husband, I told him to do that 2 months ago. He stopped following people. He said, my life is amazing now, and I come on Instagram or like I read the updates from other entrepreneurs and I don't care because I'm focused on my own thing. It's the matter of how conscious you are about your wishes, because some people would be okay with consuming social media content and still being focused on their dreams. Some people get really distracted, and if you're that type of person who gets really distracted, try muting some people who distract you, or try muting social media in general. It's healthy, and then you come back a more conscious person. How do you like living in California? Staying or thinking of moving? Oh, I'm staying, 100%. Why? I like it. That's it. I love meeting people who are here, and I like Silicon Valley. LA is also exciting, but I feel like this is my vibe. Quiet, but changing the whole world while being quiet. I love it. At the same time, I'm a creator, and I actually like this feeling that I'm a creator here. There are a couple more huge creators who live in the area, and that's it. In LA, you feel like you're just another creator, and here I feel like I'm the creator in Silicon Valley, which is kind of cool. I like this feeling, and I like that that I'm constantly challenged every day by people who are doing immensely great things for the humankind. And I like that challenge. I don't like to be challenged by, oh, this guy got more views than you, this guy, you know, is sold out on his t-shirts. I want to be challenged by, he just built a company that cures cancer, or he just built a robot, or she just built a robot that helps disabled people move around as if nothing happened to them. You know, that type of challenges. So hopefully one day I'll build something, or I don't think I'll build something, I hope I help build something like that. What is the best thing that motivates you? That everything is possible as long as you're really passionate about it. We can do anything. How are you not afraid of weirdos when you are exposed to millions of people each day? I'm used to them, guys. It's just, you know, I had this huge problem in April when my videos started going super viral. Like, I never experienced millions of views in a month, and I'm getting maybe 50 million views this month. I don't know, I need to double check. But yes, this is a huge exposure. But I think I want that. I want people to recognize me in the streets. I want people to thank me for my content. I want people to take pictures with me. And I want to reach that level of being a celebrity when, you know, you walk around and people are like, oh, you're Silicon Valley girl. And it's happening, and I like it. And I know this type of fame comes with, you know, look at Gary Vaynerchuk, look at the Kardashians, look at Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. They're always criticized, and they're always weirdos commenting on their videos. Like, I had this moment when in April my videos started to go viral, and I started reading all the comments, and it looked like people saw me as this girl who's constantly bragging, overspending, trying to show off, etc. And I asked my husband, like, what do you think about it? Am I really that bad? And he was like, first of all, sometimes yes. And I was like, okay. But then he was also like, when people comment, it's what they think about the life. Like, if you live the life on a different level and you're showing it to people who have completely different problems, yes, they would think you're showing off. But if you show your video to people, like how much I paid for fixing, I don't know, washing a car in California, if you show it to people in California, they would say, oh, this is normal. Like, this is what I pay. What is exciting about this video, right? So it's the type of people who see your videos. And when more people see your videos, the more people are going to disagree. And then I started talking to other creators. And I think I mentioned this in some of my previous blogs. When I started, I talked to Graham Stephan, and he was like, but Marina, like, whenever I love your videos, first of all, I see them across my feed and it's great. And then I started reading the comments and they were really weird. So I started watching the video again to actually find out how people noticed that weird thing that they commented about. Like, it actually increases retention. And another advice I got from another cool guy, he told me, Marina, your problem is that you're reading comments on viral videos. You only read comments on videos that are made for your subscribers, like this one. This is where people who like you, who love you, they comment and they understand you, right? But when people just come and go, you don't want their opinion. And the thing is, this is what we do in life, by the way. This is, guys, if you like this, you need to share this somewhere and tag me. But this is something game-changing to your mindset. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. And yes, you might be like, but Marina, if I surround myself with people who will tell me that I'm a failure, this would motivate me to become better. Oh no, this will bring you down. If people are like, oh, you will never be able to build a company. You are just a Russian who's trying to do something, but you'll never be able, like, goodbye. If you're commenting on my videos that I'm dumb, that people shouldn't consume my content, etc., goodbye. I only want to surround myself with people. It's like my house. My life is my house, and I'm inviting people who I want in my life. If I don't want people in my life, goodbye. I don't want to force myself to be with people I don't like. Why would I do it? Why would I spend my energy on convincing people who would never believe me, who would never believe in me? Why would I spend my energy in convincing them that I'm good versus spending energy on people who would find my advice helpful? Like, why would I do that? I would never waste my limited energy just like that. And this is why I have no problem in blocking people. I have no problem ignoring people. That this is how it works. And so if you have toxic people in your life right now who are telling you you're a failure, say goodbye to them. Because when people tell you something about you, they're actually talking about themselves. They would probably tell themselves every day that they are a failure, nothing's gonna happen, they're not gonna achieve their dreams. This is what they are telling themselves, and it has nothing to do with you. You control your environment, you control your feelings, and don't let anyone control your feelings. Amen. How do you feel about videos correcting your pronunciation? I get this question there is a channel on YouTube that is focused on me, just me and nothing else but me, which is kind of cool. Again, on my way to a celebrity status, this is something that, you know, definitely plays a role in it. There are going to be more channels like that. I think it's, again, as a person who understands what fame comes with, I understand this is an important part to it. But also as an educator, as a person who's an immigrant, who spent 6 years in the US and who's using English to achieve success, I think this is a great way for me to set example to other immigrants. Because when you come to this country with the accent, when you use English, when you talk about English, you will make mistakes inevitably. Did that affect my American career? Not at all. Was I invited to host EduCon, being an immigrant, making mistakes in English? Oh yes. Was I invited to speak at Bit Summit, to speak to American creators? Of course. Was I able to build a company in language learning, where we have amazing teachers creating courses? Yes. See? Like, it is a great sign for you that if people are going to criticize your mistakes, that if people are going to piggyback on your success and make videos about how bad you are, or whatever, like talk behind your back, this is your sign that you can actually use that and make it your superpower. Because I am showing you guys, yes, I'm a creator, yes, I get hate, yes, I get credit, yes, I make mistakes and I admit it. Everyone makes mistakes. The best teachers in the world make mistakes. And by the way, I think the best teacher in the world is not the one who makes mistakes, is the one who motivates. Because we're teaching, like when you're teaching something, you're giving people instrument. And this instrument has to work. Like, you can have the most perfect English in the world, but if it doesn't make your life better, why would you even have it? It's a lot better to have bad English. Like on that channel that focuses on me, like I'm probably the worst student in the world. So I have the worst English in the world, but here I am in Silicon Valley. And this is a sign for you guys. You can have the worst English in the world, with the worst mistakes, with some other people mocking you on your accent, which by the way never happens in real life. And you're going to make it. You're gonna be the best. Do you compare yourself with other YouTubers? I like how you guys have my photo on your avatar. Do you ever think about being an actress? And yes, I do compare myself to other YouTubers and other people, but I also, whenever I compare myself to someone, I ask myself about my internal level of happiness, and this is the most important metric for me. But of course I'm competitive. Of course I want a lot of views, but I also want this balance, right? So yes, comparison is inevitable. As long as it's healthy, it actually motivates me to do more. But if it gets to the point where I have FOMO and I can't control what I'm doing during the day, this is when I shut some of those YouTubers down and like I don't consume their content to be able to focus on what I really want. What's your empire's plan for the next year? That's a great question. I want to travel more. I want to cherish the time with my kids. I want to slow down. Something I've told before, I see myself in a level where I don't have to produce that much content, but I'm still... See, this is the difference between a celebrity and an influencer. A great example is Anm I. Oh, just in general, if you don't know who she is, she's a very big YouTuber, and she worked hard to get to the level of fame that she has now, which means that now she doesn't have to create her videos to be exposed to the public, to be seen by people, because she's hosting Met Gala, she is the face of another Louis Vuitton campaign. I went to Aritzia, it's a clothing store in the US yesterday, and her face was everywhere. I want to get to that level. This is a goal. It's probably not next year, but I really want to be on billboards. I want to work with big brands who would use me as their face, so that I don't have to produce content every week, but at the same time, I'm there for people who love me. The Kardashians, their format meets Gary Vaynerchuk with his business orientation and becomes Marina, where I am spreading kindness and excitement into this world, at the same time being myself. What it's gonna be? No idea, but remember I talked about visions I had as a kid? This is the next vision that I have. I don't know where it's going to happen, but it's a transition from an influencer to a celebrity. Ambitious? Yes. Achievable? I don't know. Exciting? Oh, very. What are top 3 people you look up to when it comes to creator life and leadership? Well, Gary Vaynerchuk, but without this hustle culture. He's an immigrant that, you know, has made it in the US and who's a huge inspiration to people who want to start businesses. And I feel like we need a female like that, but also who's super relatable, super open about her life, super open about her mistakes, about her haters, about everything that's going on, about her desire to buy a house in Silicon Valley and still not being able to afford it. Like all of that, I think we need it. And I want to become that person. In terms of entrepreneurship, I think someone who really changes our daily behavior for like millions of people, like people who create robots, people, Sergey Brin who created Google, just, you know, changing lives for everyone. I think this is super inspiring. I don't have a clear example, but the guy who I talked to, Loomlash founder, it's just, I'm mentioning one of the recent examples, but the guy who created Loomlash, a robot that does your lashes, he created his previous company. It helped paralyzed people move. I think something like that. And I think for me, like, I don't like just looking at one person. There are so many, I'm a female, I have kids, and I'm an immigrant. So I try to take different traits from different people and get inspired by them. And by the way, funny thing, I don't want to, like, I really want to be like Gary Vee, and I think we'll have a lot to talk about, but I don't want to talk to him right now. I feel that sometimes I get over-inspired by people, and then when I meet them in real life, I'm like, oh, no, that wasn't too inspiring. There was an entrepreneur who I adored. He created this amazing company. He's a parent. I loved his lifestyle. I was so excited. He was also into fashion. I'm like, we would probably be, you know, such good friends. And then I met him in real life. And I noticed that he's only focused on himself. He didn't care about me. All of the questions that he asked me, as if he was interested in me, he was actually asking about his startup, how he would grow it, how... I was like I stopped following him. It was such a disappointment. I don't want this to happen because he was giving me so much inspiration and now it's gone. I don't want this to happen with my inspiration about Gary Vee, so. Okay, the last one, because I have 4% of my battery left. I really enjoyed this, guys. Please follow me on Instagram if you have more questions. Let's do it more often. Okay, let's do this one. Did you become American? Not yet, but I have my citizenship interview on November 17th. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I need to prepare just like 100 questions about the US. Super excited. All right, thank you guys for watching this video up to the very end. I'm very excited that you're here. I'm very excited that you subscribed, and see you on Instagram, Lingua Marina, and see you here on Silicon Valley Girl. Bye.